Hey guys, welcome to the Testing Academy. My name is Pramod, and in this video we will basically discuss about the manual testing interview question and answers, and we will discuss important 5 questions in this one. Okay, I don't know why there are many videos are created for the manual interview question and answers, but nobody talks about the what are the expectation from the QA fresher as a manual tester. For example, if they are applying for a manual testing job, right, what is the expectation? So let's see what are the expectations here. First of all, these are the expectation: the basic knowledge of software testing, right? Basic knowledge of software testing, programming, database knowledge, and discussion on the projects they have done. This is actually very important. If you know these 4 important things, if you are preparing for these important, right, trust me, you can definitely crack any kind of a QA related interview, or especially the manual testing one. Okay, so what are the topics? If you generally ask, right, what are the topics that I'm discussing about here? So in this, basically, basics of software testing, you can get some questions related to test design, like test planning, test cases, test scenarios, bug reporting, types of software testing, smoke testing, and there are other concepts. Okay, so I'm just giving you a high level perspective. And here, if you see, we have core Java related, where you can get questions related to the OOPS and other things. There are OOPS related, right? Java string manipulation, multi-threading, and other things. So these so you need to prepare well for this one. So I'm just giving you high level point of view. Okay, you have collections and you have a MySQL where you should know the joins, basic insert, update, delete, the selection command, and you can learn from this link. Okay, I'll give you this link also. So now let's do one thing. Let's jump to the 5 important test cases. Right. Awesome. The first one is basically, these are practical questions, guys. First of all, these are, if you're watching till now, right, these are practical questions, and these questions generally I also asked, and these are I have prepared with my friends. Okay, there are a couple of friends who have almost 10 to 12 years experience, and these 5 questions are always manual testing related questions, are always revolve around this. Okay, so let's get started. The first one is basically a login page scenario. What exactly it is, Pramod? So generally they will give you a login page which will be like similar to this one. Okay, and let me open this. So it will open. Okay, for example, you can open it here also. Okay, so similar, they will basically give you a login page and username, password, and they will tell you to give them a proper edge cases. Okay, let's move on to the mind map. Right, so what are the things they basically want you to ask? Okay, they can ask you tell me what are the edge cases. Okay, proper approach, how will you test this? Okay, just share the test plan, test cases, bug report, or test execution. They will not ask you to prepare a test plan, only the high level information. So how you should give the answer for this, right? So how you will, so I'm going to give you the answer right now in front of you. Okay, so this is a solution. Okay, so guys, so sir, you have given me this login page. First of all, I will try the functional test, which is basically here I will try 2 combination, which is invalid and valid combination. All right, then in invalid question, so you have asked me that there can be some edge cases like there is no internet. What happens if there is an API error, right? What happens, how I will check my cross browser testing and all, right? Then after finishing up my functional testing, I'll go with a non-functional and tell me if non-functional testing is in the scope or out of scope or not. So here I have given you the, see, in proper answer, I have told them I will share the test plan. I will share the test cases with you. I'll basically share with you bug report. I'll share you the execution report. I'll do the invalid test cases. I will do the valid test cases. I will do cross browser testing, and I will basically discuss about the type of testing. And here I will ask the interviewer what type of testing they don't want, which is not in the scope, right? Out of scope is like, for example, they don't want you to do stress testing, load testing, or any kind of a different testing. They are only interested in functional test cases, right? Then you have to give them only functional test cases. That's it. Okay, have a clarity on this. Now another thing is entry and exit criteria. I have given this concept also. Entry criteria basically means, is this application is ready, it is deployed on staging or not. And entry basically means, when should I start testing it? Is it like login is working for a one user, or it is a generic user, or it is working fine, it is properly populated on the developer database or not? Means entry criteria basically means I am ready to test or not. In the exit criteria, I can say that after exiting, when I am done with the testing, this application should work for a different users, and I have basically given you different bug report, test cases and other things. So you have to give them a proper example, proper high level approach. This is where the people are lagging. They just say, I'll tell you, like a couple of times people just say, okay, I will check for the valid users, I will check for the non-invalid users, and that's it. I'll apply, I will put some random values, that's it. Okay, so this is not exactly the answer that we are looking for, right? So we are looking at very broad or big, not a big answer, a proper structured answer in this way. Okay, and here I have told you that like test cases. So I'll give invalid cases, valid cases, no internet cases, dev tools, verify the responses, daily monitor, what if scenarios, dirty string, cross browser testing. So all the things like edge cases and all, you have to give them a proper answers. If you are liking these kind of video, I will also come up with next set of 5 to 5 manual testing interview questions. Type right now, just type part 2 in the video. I will be definitely will be creating this video. All right. Awesome. So I hope you get the point of the first one, which is basically login page scenarios. Okay. Now, second one, generally people ask you is difference between verification and validation. I have basically prepared a video around this a long back also, where I have given all the concepts, but let me give you in a very simple point of view. Verification, if you see, it's a process of evaluating any kind of a product, right? Here you will see, but what I have mentioned here, right? We are basically verifying, are we building the product right? So whatever, for example, login page, if we are building, are we building the product right or not? Here, if you see, verification is a static testing. Generally, what we do is basically you can find early in the development lifecycle. So whatever development is going on, if developer is basically making this login page, he's basically checking if I'm making a product right or not. Okay, this is called as verification, and it's early in nature. And you can rectify your verification bugs on the review side, design review, test plan review, code walkthrough, code inspection, QA team, and all the things. Okay, whereas validation, if we come up the validation, right? It's basically here, if you see, I have given the example, right? Process of checking whether the software product is up to the mark. Okay, and how do you verify it is up to the mark? With your requirement, right? And whatever the product that you have basically done, now you are validating that product. Okay, it is working fine or not. It's a dynamic testing. I mean, dynamic testing basically means you are going to dynamically play around with this. Okay, and you are basically matching the actual result with the expected results. So you will put some, for example, you have prepared a calculator, you will do 2 + 2 is 4, right? And here, if you see, I have given the example also in this. Okay, right? So here is your examples. Here is your example. Okay, and let me zoom a little bit. Okay, here. Okay, so example of verification and validation, right? If consider a login page scenario, verification, how you can verify, okay, it is looking great, spelling mistake is there or not, correctness, design, documentation, it is working as per, it is correct for the design make or not. Validation, you will basically say, you will check it functionally. Okay, button is working, login is working, it is performing the task of login or not, right? This is actually validation. Okay, so this is how, with example, you have to give them a proper answer. This is where lots of freshers are lagging. They don't give the examples. That's why they are not able to crack that interview. So that's what I have told you here. Cool. Awesome. So second question also we have covered. Let's quickly jump to the black box testing techniques. This is actually very, very important. And I mean, number of time, I think if you are going for a manual testing interview question and answers, right, they will definitely going to ask you this question related to this, where how to design your test cases with the black box testing technique. Okay, so I have given, so black box, if you know, it's basically, black box testing technique basically means we know the input, we know the output, but we don't know what is in between this, right? If we talk about white box testing, we know what is the code there, what is in the box, but black box is basically completely blank box where we don't know, we just know 2 plus 2, if we give it to calculator, it will give you 4, but we don't know how it is calculating, right? So it's a black box for us. Cool. And type of black box testing technique to design is basically, if you say we have functional and non-functional. In functional black box, we have unit testing, smoke, and sanity, integration, and user acceptance. I think these all the definition I have given in the Testing Academy video, so I'll not go. In non-functional, you will see that we have load testing, stress testing, reliability, account, and other things, right? But the problem here is people will ask you the test designing technique, which are these, like boundary value, equivalence partition, decision table, state transition, and error guessing, right? And I have given this specifically a video for you guys. This is a very extensive video where I have explained you for a login scenario how to design test cases using boundary value, how to design test cases with the equivalence partition, decision table, state transition, and how you can leverage the error guessing techniques, which is basically, for example, if we are making a calculator, we can error guess that divide by 0 is basically an invalid test case, right? So we are guessing that. So there's those things. Cool. So make sure you prepare the test designing and make sure you are aware of all the testing techniques. Please watch this video. I have two videos around this with 8 minutes. I have explained with the example one by one. Please go through them. Okay. So this is very, very important. Question number 3 we have covered. Awesome. Let's jump on. Okay. Let's jump to the fourth one, which is easy, guys, which is easy. Basically, this will basically how to create a test plan and what exactly it includes. So this is where the people actually interviewer want to test, like if you have worked on any kind of a project or not, and have you prepared any kind of a test plan or not. So you can tell them the test plan basically contains all the activity that I'm going to do, and it basically contains my objective, my scope, my in-scope requirement, out-of-scope requirement, my testing techniques, my exit criteria, entry criteria, and the estimates. What is the timeline, right? That, and my deliverables, right? So in the end, I will share you bug report. So you can say that. And is it mandatory? Of course, it's a mandatory. It's not a mandatory actually for startups or other things. I mean, you can prepare accordingly, right? But I would request you to, if you are good with the documentation, please create a test plan. I have given you a couple of test plan techniques and test plan templates. Pre-made templates are available. The short video, there is a video around it, how to create a proper test plan for a login page scenario. And please make sure you do that, and you just type it to your please type the test cases also, so that you understand. And this is a really, really important question for manual testers. Okay. Let's jump to the fifth one, which is basically what is unit testing and integration testing. This will come a lot. You will face smoke testing versus sanity, regression versus retest, unit versus integration, API testing versus unit test cases. So these questions definitely will come. So prepare well for those. I mean, unit testing we already all know is basically if you say it's an atomic module testing a very small modules, and integration is basically whenever you join two big modules. Okay. For example, if you see we have, for example, suppose we are making a calculator program. Okay. So unit can be a sum of two numbers, subtraction, and other things and all. When we combine all of them into a calculator, it's an integration test, right? If you see, these are small chains, right? These are unit and they are working perfectly fine. But when we attach them in a proper chain, this is called as integration. Okay. So this is not an integration, but here if you see, it's an integration. So that's where you can give them a proper example with the differentiation. Okay. So prepare well for the different type of techniques, different type of versus questions like unit testing versus integration, regression versus retest, smoke versus sanity, right? Verification versus validation, and all the things in the manual. Okay. Thanks a lot. I hope you have learned something new. Please, this was a part 1 of this part 1. And if you liked this video, please type in the part 2. Guys, I'm giving you a practical example what we are asking and what my couple of friends are asking. We are not giving you a theoretical concepts in this. So this is how generally we ask the mold the questions according to the manual testing and interview. Right? Thanks a lot for watching this video till now. Please type part 2 and subscribe to the channel. I'll create a next part also. Right? I'll see you in the next video.